Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Toxic Topics podcast, number 2 by my count. Today we got a couple more fun little topics for you. We're going to start off right now and go into whether you guys think it's okay for parents to discipline their kids, especially when it comes to physical treatment, spanking, more specifically. What do you think, Josh?
I think that disciplining kids and everything should still be around these days. People have gotten just so soft about all that, and I think it teaches the kids right from wrong and everything, just so when they grow up they know that stuff. And I feel like I turned out better because I was disciplined by my parents and everything, from spanking and all that. So
What do you think about the later life implications it can have, where they can end up abusive in their future sense? And
Before we go there, I think it helps stop bullying.
that's true, definitely true.
Like, they come from a home where it's like, there's no discipline whatsoever. You just do what the fuck you want. You're gonna act like that outside too. I mean,
Yeah, of course, of course.
yeah.
it's like if you don't teach your kids that things from right from wrong, it's gonna lead to them bullying. In my opinion, I think it'll lead to bullying.
Definitely.
Right.
But do you see the correlation between someone in their later life being abusive towards their kids having to do with their early life as them as a child getting disciplined physically?
I don't think that. I don't see any real correlation between that, because you're so young when you're first getting disciplined and everything and all that, that I just feel like the effects kind of wear off by the time you're older. Like, you learned your lesson and everything, and I feel like that's just the way it happens when you discipline kids.
But there's got to be at least some underlying effects on a psychological basis where their mind gets accustomed to physical punishment for bad things and makes them want to, any type of bad scenario or mistreatment leads again to physical punishment.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I could see a little bit of correlation, I guess, but like I said, my parents probably disciplined me up until 7, maybe even younger than that. And I feel like I hardly even remember being spanked, but my parents tell me, just of teaching me lessons from spanking me, and even in the middle of grocery stores and stuff.
Oh,
just
yeah.
From bad behavior, and it straightens you up. But like I said, I don't hardly remember any of that, I guess. So
I feel like there's a good line between child abuse and discipline, and you can't just go and just start beating them.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're doing it spanking, spank them. You don't do it multiple times.
Like leaving bruises.
Yeah,
and
you don't do it hard
their
enough
whole
to
body's
physically
right.
black and blue afterwards.
But you do it hard enough to let them know, hey,
Yeah.
stop doing this little shit.
Yeah, exactly.
'Cause that's how you teach them.
Well, I know the biggest instance of this happening that I feel really brought it to the forefront was the Adrian Peterson thing a few years back. With the whole, where everybody, I think the only thing people got from that was learning that you can call a stick a switch.
Yeah.
But that got blown so well out of proportion.
I agree with that too.
It did, but he definitely should not use the stick.
Oh, it's a little
using objects. I think that is taking it a little too far. My parents, it was always the wooden spoon or soap in the mouth.
Okay.
And the simplified objects, a belt, things like that.
Right, yeah.
Those have been around for generations.
That's almost pushing
It can be a little extreme, yes.
But yeah.
But that always seemed like the common ground of what to go to when it comes to an object is I'm gonna pull off my belt and get to beating.
Yeah.
But you don't see any comparison.
Yeah, I don't really. Like you said, the stick and stuff, I kind of feel like that might have been where he pushed it too far. But rather than that, famous people just get dicked on for all that kind
So
of
much
stuff.
more backlash because they're famous.
Right.
Even though they're doing 50%, even more of the population is doing themselves. But they have to be some crazy saint because they're a celebrity.
Yeah.
Go figure. Any other note?
I think I'm good on that.
Jordan, anything to add?
I mean, to sum it up, I think it should still happen.
Yeah,
I do too.
it shouldn't be ostracized in our community.
And
But there are points where it's too far.
Yeah, definitely.
And I feel like our society's just really ostracized it. Like you said, it's
liberalized.
Yeah, it's just getting to the point. Yeah, it's just getting to the point where people, they see you. If somebody sees you hit your child in public, you might be going to jail. Somebody's gonna turn you in for doing that and do child abuse. And
Yeah.
it's just.
But verbal abuse is just not enough. You think? Like disciplining verbally.
Well,
is just
half
not enough.
half the time, little kids like you verbally tell them something, you're like,
They repeat.
like yeah, they'll like mock you back.
Yeah.
Like if you physically like, it's not like abuse, but like physically discipline them. I feel like that teaches them more of a lesson. Like,
Would you say that correlates to how kids act today? Because you will agree that today's children are so much like more wild than it used to
yeah.
be.
I
mean-
feel like that kind of comes with like, I feel like a lot of kids these days get like a lot more entitlement and all that too, and I think that kind of leads to them being more wild and like just being that way.
Yeah, yeah. Because when you have that lack of physical punishment,
Yeah.
and then of course we've got all like the school teachings throwing us, words will never hurt me and all this fun
Yeah.
jazz. They just kind of like brush it off. Like at the time, the kids are crying and they're like, "Oh, I can't believe my parents did this to me," but then they forget about it in 10 minutes, and then
Right.
they're just back to little shits that they were.
Yeah.
And they actually get worse because they start doing
They feel
Yeah.
like they
what
can
you
get away
just
with.
said.
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly.
I think it's very comparable to like kids on Xbox.
Yeah.
They don't talk like that around their parents.
Well, you get the rare ones like me, but
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you do, but like, I'm
But,
gonna
oh, yeah,
use
they-
an example too. Where
yeah.
did you learn it?
yeah, from my parents.
There you
But that
go.
was just general teachings. But at the same time, I also was physically like punished for.
Us too.
Yeah.
I think
Which
we all-
it sucked as like while it was happening as a kid. I'm like, I can't believe you're doing this to me. But I agree with it now that I look at like the. Cause I was a little shit.
Yeah.
Like, I would have kicked
No,
my ass.
that's the way, like, when you were, like, little and you got, like, physically disciplined, your parents did that to you, you'd always, like, do the whole spiel, like, I'm gonna run away from
Yeah,
home.
I'm gonna run away.
You'd pack your suitcase, get out the door, and you'd walk right back in.
Yeah.
Dude, I did that in high school. I'd be like, "Fuck you, I'm leaving." Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta agree. We can come to a group consensus though that we need to like dumb down the harshness of like media on physical punishment
Yeah.
and like be more accepting of it. Like draw the line that you don't hit your kid with a baseball bat.
Yeah.
But it's okay to spank him.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely.
This will bring us into our next topic, which we're going to try something a little new this week. We're going to do a spotlight of a few celebrities that are more well known, mainly for heinous acts in today's society. We're going to start right off with a very topical person, which is R. Kelly, especially the extreme abuse he's been getting on social media and outlets like that about the new documentary that just came out called Surviving R. Kelly. Jordan, what are your views on R. Kelly?
Oh, he's guilty as fuck.
You think he's guilty?
There's literally a video of him. I'm gonna be kind of like use words here. Like he pissed on little girls.
Oh, and that's been
I know it's
surfaced
been
for what,
around.
a
Oh,
decade now?
that's what I
I
mean,
know it's
like-
been around, but
Yeah.
the fact that that exists
Oh, yeah.
shows that they are not
Because
probably
when
like,
it had originally happened, it was at a concert,
yeah.
and he was performing. I think it was like Bump and Grind, one of his like, top chart hits. And I don't know what led him to pull an Ozzy Osbourne, except worse, and just start peeing on the entire front row and ruin their hopes and dreams.
Yeah.
But do you think he deserves the backlash he's getting now? Because he got backlash for that, and people always make jokes about R. Kelly peeing on people. But ever since this documentary surfaced about him, he's just getting attacked everywhere as being like this Ted Bundy rapist who just is like a complete monster. Do you think it's deserved?
I mean, if it's true, yes.
Yeah,
Like,
if it's true.
He deserves to be exposed. He deserves all the shit he's getting. Like,
But this preliminary attack, is it fair? Where not all the evidence is out yet. Yes, some random documentary came out,
yeah.
but you still think he
Oh, yes.
deserves it?
Yep.
What about you, Josh?
I definitely think he deserves it because, like you said, back in the past, like, we know of his past altercations and all that, and it's just now becoming such a bigger deal because of all these other people that are saying stuff, and he was guilty before this, like,
Yeah, he was.
he.
But not to. He wasn't guilty of like what they're accusing him of now.
Yeah,
back
I
then.
mean, I think
'Cause
he's-
right now the stuff they need to get that tried and everything, get that through trial and all that. But like the older stuff, like I said, he should have been locked away a long time ago.
Oh yeah.
I think
all kinds
because
of
he
stuff.
didn't get the backlash the first time, he didn't get caught, which means he kept doing it. He did more,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and now that he's got caught, he's
And
not
now
gonna do it
they're-
anymore. And
Yeah.
now he's in
but
trouble.
now they're
And now
catching
it's
up
coming
with
twice
him.
as hard.
Yeah.
What do you think of the interview on the Today Show that we all saw about him just
In
belting
tears.
his tears out and his whole
Yeah.
family just in complete awe about the things they're hearing? I mean, because that looked like a broken man to me.
It did.
Yeah.
It did.
It's hard to believe of him being guilty when you see someone that like destroyed and distraught.
And I mean, that's kind of the way, like, they come to the realization, I think, at some point that they realize what they did was, like, really, really wrong.
Yeah.
And they're just, like, want the forgiveness and everything, but it's, like, too late. Their actions have
way
already
too late.
been
Oh yeah.
carried out.
I will say I think the funniest part of that whole interview, which was like understated for some reason, which was two of the people who vouched for him and said he didn't do it were his two girlfriends.
Yeah.
Two.
Yeah, two girlfriends side by side. People just didn't like see the weirdness in that.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're okay with it too, dude. You
Oh,
know
yeah.
they do some freaky ass shit.
Oh,
Like,
we've
Yeah,
all heard
you
R.
know that
Kelly's
they're,
music,
like,
and
yeah.
me and Josh are big
Oh, yeah.
for his music. We love it.
Yeah, we
Absolutely
love his
it.
music.
But
well,
it's like people. If that doesn't show a little bit of guilt
Yeah.
right there, that he's a complete
His
womanizer.
Music, yeah.
I mean,
his music definitely shows it too, but
yeah.
because you brought that up before. It's just the things he talks about, even in his songs.
Oh yeah.
Like you know, he's done stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like
The pieces kind of all fit together.
they do. They do.
This will bring us into our next spotlight of the week, which is very similar along the same lines, which is Michael Jackson and the backlash he's been receiving since his documentary Leaving Neverland came out. Josh, you think a dead person like this, who was a complete star, deserves what he's getting?
When he's dead and gone, like I guess I don't think that stuff should be like forgotten about him, but they can't be like just keep like bringing it up over and over again while he's dead, because it was brought up so many times when he was still alive and everything too, which I believe they could have done more about
Oh,
when
yeah,
he was
definitely.
alive. But yeah, now that he's dead and everything, like he still has a legacy of his music and stuff, but I still think that'll still be brought up no matter what.
Oh yeah, because the stories of like the raping kids and like having kids at his Neverland Ranch have been
Yeah.
around for like 20 years now.
Oh yeah,
I
they've
mean
been
it's not a
around
new
a
thing.
long.
But now that this documentaries came out, it's like back up to the forefront and it's
Right.
showing new evidence that we didn't
Yeah.
have before.
Well,
Yeah.
you know the South Park episode with Michael Jackson. That's all of that is based off of what
Oh yeah,
actually
it's just
happened.
a big joke of
It is.
kids being like stuck at his ranch and everything.
It is.
Yeah.
Like
But
Is
his
he-
legacy doesn't deserve to be tainted like this, does it? I mean, because he's still the king of pop.
Right.
He's still one of the greatest musical artists that like we've ever been blessed with. But I mean, what are they gonna? He's dead.
Yeah, after he's dead,
Why
I like.
add this to that?
Yeah,
I mean,
when they're still bringing him up now, like that stuff up now, like I get them, like I don't know whether they're like trying to teach a lesson about like just like sexual assault and abuse and all that, and like just all that stuff, but I don't think he deserves it still
Yeah.
being like brought to the forefront again of his.
because it's like,
legacy.
what if tomorrow a documentary came out about how George Washington raped 4-year-olds?
Yeah,
I mean,
is
there's
anybody
no
gonna
point
care?
to it.
300 years ago, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, there's just no point to it.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's
the
nothing-
person's done what they did. They're an amazing historical figure that everyone's gonna love.
Yeah.
Why taint their name and their legacy with shit like this? Why can't they just leave stuff in the dirt?
Well, that's
Like,
another
My
like
view on it is like, I think it should be brought out. Like
Yeah.
what happened. They should try to find the truth, but it's not gonna make a difference.
It won't.
He's
it's-
dead.
yeah.
His music's already there. I mean, people aren't gonna stop listening to his music because of it. I'm
Exactly.
telling you, like, it's
Yeah,
just
and
not
I-
gonna stop.
Oh yeah, the true diehard fans, like it'd be for any artist or anyone who's a fan of something, they're still gonna love them. They're still gonna do
Right.
that. But in the grand scheme of things, it does taint him a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like famous people, like for him and R. Kelly, I feel like they get away with a lot of that stuff for like, well, like I know you hear of people paying people like hush money and all that stuff
Yeah.
too, and that's like how famous people get away with it. Like they get away with a lot more than, I'm pretty sure almost every famous person gets away with a lot more than what they should be getting away with, but it just never comes out really.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
If you want a perfect example of that, it's 6ix9ine.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Snitched on all his fucking people and he gets nothing.
Yeah. I think the most I've heard for
That's
him is like
fucking
2
bullshit.
years, maybe.
Yeah.
But we're all pretty convinced that the second he steps foot out of prison for an
Bye.
extended amount
Yeah.
of time,
Fucking
he's
dead.
getting gunned in the street. It just has to
Yeah.
happen.
I mean, I don't care how much money he's gonna put to protect himself.
It's not gonna.
It's not
gonna
gonna
happen.
Yeah.
gonna work.
Yeah.
It's not.
So do you think all celebrities like this deserve a little bit of protection?
I mean, I feel like they do, but it's just kind of bad because like every celebrity has somebody who looks up to them and all that, and once they see this stuff like coming out about them, like they're still gonna love them and stuff, but like I feel like it kind of puts a different vision in their head about like what celebrities are actually like.
Everybody go up to the,
Yeah,
the
definitely.
far top building.
Because
the
when
building
you
that's
are a
like
celebrity
big.
like this, you're always, especially when you're like a top one like Michael Jackson was or R.
Yeah.
Kelly is, you're always at like right in front of everyone's eye.
Right.
Like everything
Yeah.
you do, I mean, we see that
Some-
especially in like how available media is today. Any little action you do is instantly viewed by the public, and it's on TMZ the next day. And
Everything is on camera.
oh yeah,
These days. Everything.
I mean, yeah, a celebrity can't even like literally take a step outside of their door without the 5 cameramen in the bushes taking
Yeah.
pictures of
Yeah.
them. Let alone when they're hiding children in their sex dungeon or at the Neverland Ranch. It just kind of happens.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Okay.
I just think it's easier for people to get caught doing shit.
Oh yeah, by far, yeah,
Way easier.
yeah,
And then they have actual video proof at that point too.
yeah,
Because you're not gonna be able to fully prove either of those two being guilty
yeah.
because nothing was caught on camera, nothing was truly. I mean, there's really
There's
no
some stuff
true
out there on
evidence
camera.
that we've heard.
Yeah. This brings us to something that's kind of similar to it, which is with how available media is today, with everyone having a camera and everyone having some form of recording things.
Yeah.
Why is it that these court cases like this, especially the 6ix9ine one, are drawn out for so long? Because his court case isn't set until September of this year.
Yeah.
He got
Right,
jailed
go down
in
the,
September of last year.
Yeah.
With media and like evidence being so available, why do we like set
Yeah,
this
I'm-
out so much?
I've never gotten that with like our whole entire justice system. Like
Fucking
you,
broken.
yeah, you get like, I'm sure there's video evidence of him doing everything he did, but he's not gonna get any time for
Yeah.
any of that. Like,
And that doesn't seem like a fair like trade-off to me.
Yeah.
I understand that a reduced sentence for giving up other people in like a gang
yeah,
does constitute a
It-
reduced sentence.
yeah.
But from going to 47 years to at
like,
max 2
yeah,
for giving up like 8 other gang members maybe.
I
Yeah.
feel like those charges should be dropped, but he still raped a kid.
Yeah.
yeah,
He still had
Which
sex
he
with
pled
that
guilty
15-year-old.
to. Yeah.
Exactly.
yeah.
But since he's a celebrity, it just
That-
gets washed away.
Yeah, exactly.
And that doesn't make sense, like that dividing line between certain celebrities.
Yeah.
Like R. Kelly's someone who has done, besides the whole peeing on thing, people. Besides that, he's never really done anything bad.
Bad, yeah.
He's kept a good image. I mean, yeah, he's been the womanizer, like sexual figure, but we've had
Yeah.
plenty of those in music, especially now. But then you get 6ix9ine, who when is the last time he did like anything for anybody?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that the nicest video I saw of him was him running in his backyard with an AK in his underwear, and the only positive was that he was shooting in the air and not at somebody. That's probably the best thing I've seen him do. But this guy gets like, he still has a stupidly huge fan base
Oh yeah.
who love him for who
No
knows
reason.
what reason.
No reason.
I just
Exactly.
I
His
feel
music fucking sucks.
Exactly.
His music's not enjoyable. It's miserable.
Yeah. Like, I understand if you like some songs by people. There's been a lot of artists, especially recently, who are just horrible people. And it seems like we have that now more than, like, any generation. Where, like, 90% of the most famous artists on Billboard are just horrible people.
yeah.
And, I mean, it's okay to like some of their songs.
What was that guy's name? YBM Nelly?
Yeah.
Something? Fucking murder on my mind, he kills his 2 best friends. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is that shit?
And that's, like, every other artist nowadays.
I know.
I mean, the last, like, 5 years, when's the last time a new artist came onto the scene where you're like, that guy's a saint? I'm gonna count out Chance the Rapper already because we know he's a good guy. We talked about him last time. But, I mean, everyone's just kind of like an asshole now. And we're all okay with it because everyone just says, oh, it's the music.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's yeah.
they're artists. They can do what they want. I
Yeah.
mean,
That's not right.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
the
not.
thing that comes, like we were saying with like court cases and stuff, like if you have fame or if you have money, you're gonna get out of our justice system so easily.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't feel like, yeah, everybody has a right to a fair trial and everything, but there's a point where like, if there's so much going on that this dude, everybody knows he's guilty, like,
Yeah.
there's no reason for him to get a chance even to plead his innocence.
Yeah. I do like to say, I think with all these, like, shitty artists and stuff, shitty people,
Yeah.
I won't speak on their music because everyone has different tastes. we all are pretty similar on our taste on some of these newer rappers and
Yeah.
artists and how we just despise them. But if you, with the music you like is the music you like, that's fine. But it kind of helps us herd through the idiots in our society. Because
It really does.
whenever someone like 6ix9ine goes to prison and you see on Instagram a guy's like free 6ix9ine, you're like, that's a piece of shit.
Goodbye.
He doesn't, you know, right?
You know natural selection's gonna get these
Yeah.
eventually. Huh?
Darwinism's coming. It's making a comeback hard.
It really is.
It lost. They had us in the first half. It's coming back.
Yeah.
Besides the celebrities and our spotlights, I hope you enjoyed that this week. This brings us into a kind of a change up on our Would You Rather from last week, where we're going to do how much money would it take? I'm going to turn over to Jordan here, as he's the plug for the questions, as always.
Every time. So the first one, it's kind of serious. I mean, it's not like a joking around. It's like kind of like a legit question almost. Is how much money would it take for you to leave your home country and never come back? Doesn't matter where you go. It's your choice.
We get
to go.
free reign everywhere.
Yeah, but you never get to come back to the U.S.
Here's a big question. The country we go to, do we get like citizenship there, like Patriotism Act?
Yes.
Okay, that changes it. I would probably say like 5 million,
You said 5 million.
and
I
it'd be Italy.
I wouldn't even say, like, as long as I would have enough to, like, get up there, get everything, like, set straight and all that, like, I would probably still say about, I'd just say 1 million almost for me. Just,
Like, America is like fully on the downward spiral right now. We had like 200 years of prosperity, and now it is a sinking
yeah,
ship.
we're,
So at least that's enough money where I could go to a country I like, and then I think it's like pretty cool.
yeah.
I could like maybe start a business.
That's,
And if
that's
it
true.
failed, I still have enough money where I
Yeah,
can kind of
yeah.
like enjoy my life,
Yeah.
like and enjoy
that's,
the sights.
That's true, I didn't really think about that.
So where are you going?
I was just kind of, I was almost thinking, like, even just, like, Canada almost.
That's where I'm going.
I,
Yeah.
and,
You
like,
give
honestly,
me $1 million and a home. I'm
dude,
going to
like,
Canada.
no,
Yeah.
they've got so much other stuff, too. Like, they got, like, universal health care and all that.
Yeah.
And, like, I mean,
420
friendly.
friendly.
You already know.
Canada would be nice because it's so close to your or the home
That's
states
what I mean,
that
it's-
you'd know what was going on here.
Yeah.
I like to think Canada has gotten to the point where they're just kind of like modeling after us in terms of
They are.
They
like
just laugh at all this
agriculture
stupid
and
shit.
infrastructure.
Everybody
Everybody
makes anybody who doesn't live in the U.S. makes fun of all the stupid shit that's actually going on.
oh yeah, we are
Becoming
we
a
are like
laughing
the
stock.
dumping ground for the other like 195 countries. What are the next?
So number 2 is how much money would it take for you to go to prison for someone else for 5 years?
That would have to be. That's a lot of raping in the ass.
Yeah, that's I've got to
It's
have
gonna
enough
take a
money to
good
get my
10 mil.
asshole like
It's gonna
back
take
It's
a
a good
mil.
10 mil for me,
I-
dude. I'm
What-
not built for
What
prison.
kind of
dog.
prison?
You
Are we talking like? Are we talking like easy style
It's like
prison or
state.
like supermax?
Not like midway.
Like midway?
Midway.
Okay, like a state prison-ish.
Yeah, like
around
state.
there.
Yeah.
Like yeah, like 10 mil.
Yeah, I'm taking 10 mil.
I'm
too,
gonna
at
at least right when I get out, that first mil is going towards the plastic surgery.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
To
Get
repair
your
my
asshole
asshole.
just prepared.
And then the other 9 mil is
going
just
towards cures to all the fucking
no, it's just
STDs
therapy.
are getting in there.
I'm gonna hire 5 therapists around the clock.
Alright, then how much did you say?
I'd say at least 5 mil, probably.
5 mil?
Yeah,
You're built for prison.
I am.
You're built.
You're built to be prison, bitch.
Yeah.
I feel like you want more. You're so skinny. You're
I'll make the right friends.
if you want to call them friends.
Well,
See,
not like.
the key is just have a bigger dick than the rest of them. You instantly become
Oh,
the
I mean, I'm-
right by not
I'm-
getting to rape them.
I'm already losing there, so.
You're done.
Alright, so this takes us to number 3. As we do more of these, the less serious they get. So,
Be wary.
yeah. So, how much money would it take for you to let your parents see your whole search history?
That's a lot of money.
I gotta take 5 mil because I'm moving out of the country.
This just goes back to,
Yeah.
to the
I
first
don't-
question.
I don't think. I don't look up that much fucked up shit. Like you, I know you're probably looking up stuff. I know
I'm
you're-
looking to leave
I know
the
you're pretty
US.
The problem with mine is
You're in the same fucking
No,
boat as me.
I'll
dog,
look up
man.
shit that is not porn related. It's just
That's exactly
It's
what I'm
fucked
you
saying.
up.
know how many times
That's
I've
fucking
gone
stupid.
to Zoo Gay just to make fun of somebody, not because I care to see a chick taking a horse donger,
Yeah.
but because I'm maybe it's research or I'm just messing with somebody.
He's just
Well,
saying
I
this to
just-
cover himself up.
But when I'm out of the country or I'm gone, I can't explain that.
Yeah, that's what I feel like my parents would find something and I could just find a good explanation for it. They'd be like, okay, like I'd still probably take $1 million for them to see it all still. Just there probably is some fucked up shit on there that I just can't remember right now.
That's-
But.
yeah, oh yeah.
I think
Ever since I became friends with you two, shit has gone out of control.
I think since I know who my parents are, I would say $1 million. But here's an add-on to that question: how much would it take for the whole world to know your search history?
$1 million.
I'd almost feel more comfortable
I
if the
did
whole
last
world
because I
knew
wouldn't
it.
give a fuck.
Really?
Yeah,
I
I'd
wouldn't
almost
give a
feel
fuck.
more
I
comfortable.
would take like 10 mil.
Like,
My life would be ruined. I would have to.
okay, I guess like the FBI seeing this shit,
I would-
they're just like.
You know how many times I've looked up how to make napalm?
Well, that's what I mean. Like
I would have to go to I would have to Edward Snowden this shit and just go to Russia.
that's true too. Like I probably looked up some fucked up shit like that before too. Like if the FBI does see that, like I'm probably going to prison.
I'm not even.
5
I'm
years
just.
in prison.
I'm not even gonna say anything I've looked up just for my own safekeeping.
Some relate to that before we move on to the next one. Interesting story about when the internet first got started. Speaking of napalm, is when the internet first got started, one of the main uses for it was distributing something called the Anarchist Cookbook.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard about this?
I've heard. I haven't
Yeah,
heard.
it was
like,
one of the original purposes for it, and in it was like how to make a bomb, how to make napalm,
so,
things like
shouldn't
that.
this be on there still?
I'm waiting till Google, you know how they do the special thing for each
Yeah.
month or whatever when it's some
Right,
glorious
they're
diamond's
just-
birthday
yeah.
or some shit like that. Where for like the Anarchist Cookbook, they're like 30 years of tyranny, Anarchist Cookbook, and it's just like a bunch of bombs for each of the letters. And on to the next one.
Alright, so number 4. How much money would it take for you to let someone else have sex with your significant other? This is easy for me because I haven't dated anybody since
You don't
like
know.
junior
You don't know
high.
you don't know the feeling of betrayal.
But
Yeah.
but if I find somebody that's worth my fucking time, I better fucking take care of them because it's not happening again.
Yeah.
It ain't happening again, dude.
Well, enough.
So it's gonna take probably like 5 mil.
Yeah, I would say around 5 because I need enough money to pay for the cleaner costs. Because whoever's sleeping with her, just to
Getting
make
murdered.
sure it wasn't better than me, they're getting buried
That's-
6 feet under in
that-
an unmarked grave.
That was exactly I'm like, as long as I'm covering up myself, like for the murder and everything, like the cost for that.
'Cause
So
you gotta-
like
you
I
gotta-
said, if I have the money to pay myself out of prison,
Just
I
remember,
guess-
everything's on camera these days.
yeah, but fuck,
You gotta-
even if it's on
Yeah,
camera.
you got to think of the idea that like, what if?
Just write out Garrett's search history, you'll get off.
Yeah, there we go.
What if she's like, yeah, this guy's so much better than my boyfriend, and then
Both
he'll
of
leave
them
her.
are-
both of them are
I'm
getting.
kidding.
Yeah,
both
kill
dead.
Right up there by the tree. Just snapped me with a fucking sniper shot.
Got him.
I apologize, he got him by the way. I apologize. My father's playing Blackout. He's
Aggressive.
doing okay.
All right, what's the next
So
one?
on to the last one. It's dark.
So
It's dark. It's very unserious, and it's not really about how much money would it take, but more of like a what would you? And it goes as if what would you sell your soul to the devil for?
Enough to pay my way out of purgatory to get us to
right,
heaven,
right.
baby.
after 5 years,
Yeah.
a coney dog. No,
I'm down.
what would I?
I ain't selling shit. I ain't doing shit.
I'm.
Cause I mean I'm not super religious, but
I can 100% guarantee
I'm
if there
down.
is a
I'm just
hell,
sitting here.
I'm right next to Hitler. 100%. There's.
His zoo porn and everything gets him out, right?
I'm
Like, that's
scares
as
me,
bad as
'cause I'm
killing
like
the
the same
Jews.
person.
I'm gonna have Hitler on my left and like Fidel Castro on my right, and all of us are gonna be taking some mean hell dick.
You're gonna take a pineapple up your
Pineapple,
ass.
yeah.
No, it's schnitzel.
Like schnitzel.
Schmidt.
I would say like eternal fame. Like to the point of like where I'm looked at like Bill Gates, where like
So
I'm just
you're
a
like
saint.
You're known as Adolf Hitler, but you're not evil like him.
Yeah,
You didn't
yeah.
do the shit
Like
you
I'll
did.
be known for the next 1,000 years as like Jesus. Like,
Oh God.
Not in that
Lock it
sense,
up to your right.
but people.
well, you're known like that.
Yeah,
Right,
where people will be like,
that's
be
where-
a good
that's
guy,
where I
be
got
like
shot
Garrett,
from.
like Gandhi is.
Yeah, that one's tough. I
I'm
don't think.
not.
Yeah.
You gotta trade something for it. I mean, like I said earlier, Mets tickets.
Mets tickets?
Yeah.
You think that's the
Just-
next best thing to sell on your soul?
Shit, dude. If I do all this, just give me another $5 mil, dude. I don't.
Like
give a fuck.
Celtics season tickets for life.
You take that.
It's gotta cost.
You guys have
It's
to
gotta,
cost-
it's gotta
Bob-
cover the cost of flights. Cause
Oh yeah,
it's supposed to
flights
be
and
500
floor
bucks a
seats,
night.
like, and you get to sit next to like a celebrity the whole time. Like,
No, go be a Knicks fan. Sit next to Spike Lee all the time, man.
oh, that sounds just
I'd rather-
wonderful.
I'd rather kill myself.
That's hurtful, man.
I don't think I want to sit next to Spike Lee. Spike Lee is like a known.
He ruined the 2K series, dude.
Oh, yeah,
with all
he
these
did.
Oh,
shitty
yeah,
stories.
he that.
Fuck Spike.
that
Spike-
okay, I take that back. Fuck Spike Lee.
Spike Lee is like the Walt Disney of white people. He is a known anti-Semite. Like, in all of his games and everything, he is the most anti-white person I've ever seen in media. By far.
Yeah.
I feel like sitting next to him, he would just hate me the whole time. It would just wouldn't even be enjoyable. And who the hell wants to go to a Knicks game anyway?
Yeah, that's not like you got.
Ooh, Porzingis. Can't wait to see him.
He doesn't
He-
play
yeah,
for him
he's
anymore.
gone.
Oh, he doesn't. That's right, does he? He plays with Denver, right? Or
Who do the Knicks have now?
They have Cantor, and he's leaving too.
That's
He's
not
only gone
good.
half
You
the
having
season.
Cantor as a best
so
player.
it's the equivalent of going and getting
I
Mets
mean,
tickets.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean-
Almost worse.
If you want to be super technical, I guess the Knicks are like a terrorist organization for housing Cantor from Turkey.
The
So
terrorist organization.
Housing him from Turkey.
that's what Turkey
They're the,
claims.
yeah, they're the
anyways.
ISIS of NBA. Just ruining everybody.
Talking about some communist fucks talking about how we're communists. Fuck themselves.
You got any more for us?
Yep, that's all.
Well, that's all. Josh, you got any final notes for us? Any questions?
I think
Want to
so,
know my
yeah.
penis size? Any of that?
I mean, I already know that.
Everybody does. You know,
Oh yeah, everybody
Yeah.
does.
funny story for the internet before we sign off here, because they always love this, and I've gotten to the point where I love telling it now. We had a fun incident happen between our closest friend group not too long ago, where a year and a half ago, something like that, right? Would it be?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You'll know in a second.
Yeah.
Where he'll know after I say
Oh
this.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
To know about me, you must know I hate dick pics. Can't stand them. I never saw the idea of them. It's like the ugliest part of the body, especially mine. Really.
Well, that's disgustful. We've seen your face.
Fuck you. And I decided to break the seal one time and send it to a girlfriend as like a gift, because that's what I thought it was. And accidentally sent it to the wrong group chat, which happened to contain all of my closest friends and their friends, which eventually led to them cropping it, which ended really fun, where now, if you look deep enough, maybe even on the internet, you could find my penis cropped onto,
Say the certain guy named Logan Burner.
yeah, a good buddy of ours. You can see it on trophies, just about anywhere. Anything you can imagine my penis has been cropped onto, at least at one point or another.
I've done it on your girlfriend already too.
That too. It's a sad and dark time. And the worst part of this is this has led to the fact that
Yeah,
my
put
friends,
up
being the
shitty
cockheads
sites.
they are, have even showed my parents.
I have.
So everyone knows what's going on
You
down
gotta
south.
correct that. It was me.
It was
It was me.
We're just too comfortable.
Well-
It scares me how comfortable we
Yeah,
are with
it's-
each other.
It's too much.
If there's not an orgy between all of us in 5 years, I'm gonna be really disappointed in you motherfuckers.
5 years, like I was thinking, like when we were like 70 years old or
I'm
something,
thinking when
we
we're
get
done
like
shooting this podcast.
Um,
Alright.
that's all the time we got for this week. We'll be coming at you next week, and we got a couple fun little topics. We're gonna talk about when is it alright to teach sex ed? How early? How late? When are kids ready for it? Things like that. And as well, we're gonna bring back the spotlight next week, where we talk about Gronkowski, and Zion Williamson from Duke.
The next Michael Jordan.
Yeah, the next Michael Jordan, as most people like to say.
Blows up.
So, yeah, stay tuned for next week when we bring all that fun jazz up. As always, I'm Garrett,
I'm Josh.
I'm Jordan.
and that's Jordan. We'll see you next week.
We gotta restart. We gotta restart.
God damn it, Josh.
Don't forget to spank a kid.